But I was really interested that you said it tackles loneliness, because I really do feel like that's the theme of this film, and not anybody else has mentioned that. And
Hi, Andrea. Hi, Christopher.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to be talking to you both and to talk about this intense movie. And Andrea, when you first read the script, what was your reaction?
I mean, just real excitement, because I'd read the script, and I was thinking of Antiviral. I was thinking of Brandon's first film. I was thinking about, really what I was thinking is, I have absolutely no idea what this is going to look, feel, smell like at all by the time it sort of comes to fruition, because I feel like he's so imaginative, and in such an interesting, and I think relevant, timely way, in a way we're all craving right now. Looks at the world as we know it through a different lens, so sort of manages to pull together the world that we know and create a different world that has similarities, but then that affords you a different perspective on the familiarities that we have with this new world he creates, and he's just really, really brilliant. So excitement, huge excitement.
Yeah. And Christopher, how did you because you and Andrea characters you play, it's pretty much the same one. How did you approach that?
A lot of talking, a lot of figuring it out with both Andrea and Brandon beforehand. And to not fall into too many traps with it, and try to kind of keep the audience guessing who was kind of at the forefront, who was kind of coming out when. So and Brandon again wrote it obviously and knows the story back to front, so he's a great guide in that way.
Yeah, he knew exactly what type of actors he wanted. When I spoke to him, he said to me that he was lucky to get you guys on board, because you guys are perfect to play those characters. And I also want to know, Andrea, how was like for you work together with Jennifer?
Extraordinary and wonderful, like a masterclass. She was there. We actually shot her stuff quite quickly. We shot it in the space of 3 or 4 days. I think she was only there for maybe a week, all in all. But the main meat of what we did was in a couple of days. And she's just so. It's almost unreal how natural she is. It's almost, she's one of those actors that you almost have to stop and say, I'm sorry, are you acting now, or are you just asking for a cup of coffee? Because she's so believable. She's so good. So it was. I can't. That was a true highlight of my career.
Christopher, for you, I know that on set you have a lot of practical effects. Well, how is for you work with those type of effects? It's different when you have a blue screen, a CGI, and can you tell me a little bit about this experience?
Well, I think it's a gift, because then there's just less to the imagination, and I don't have to work as hard, and those, I used this example before, but those scenes where there's a couple of scenes where there's a particle in the air, and and it looks like it's floating in the air and would absolutely normally be done in post, was there and real and present. So and it's cool to even look at, to witness in the room. So it just adds to the kind of dreamy mystery of it all, and it just makes my job easier. I loved it.
Andrea, for you, what was the most challenging part for your character? If you have any.
I think being constantly on the verge of a total psychological breakdown. That's difficult. Which where Voss is when we come to her. Sadly, she's made a career out of being highly trained, highly efficient assassin who goes almost undetected in the bodies of other people, and she's lost so much of whatever she was at one point as a human that she now lives in a world where she can only really be satiated through feeling the thrill of destruction. I mean, it was really deeply depressing, difficult place to live for as long as we shot. And you do things to help yourself get through that. You can't be in that state all the time. But it was all difficult. That was probably the most difficult thing about playing the character, is that she's on the verge of a nervous breakdown pretty much constantly.
Yeah, and I also like the hallucination scenes. That the way that Brando shot was like, it's amazing the way that goes. And for you was like very difficult, Christopher, to be on those scenes, to be that on set.
No, I mean, it was difficult. I think again, I think back to kind of like what I was saying before. It just adds to it all. You know, it adds to the world, and it just makes it easier to believe in this kind of this world or this technology, or, you know, it just kind of makes it all very tactile. And no, I mean, I loved it.
No, it's amazing. Like, and I think Brando, he tackled in a little bit of issues about lonely, because people are lonely, alone, and I think it's very important. And for you, Andrea, what do you think people are gonna take away from the whole movie? I know it's crazy. I know it's not. Some parts are not real, but what do you think you can learn from this movie?
I have no idea. I mean, you know, you can spend a bit of time in its violence. You can let it see where it takes you mentally. But I was really interested that you said it tackles loneliness, because I really do feel like that's the theme of this film, and not anybody else has mentioned that. And people feeling disenfranchised, feeling separate, you know, technology replacing human contact, and we're all feeling that now more than ever. I think that, I mean, I have an inkling that there'll be something in this film that people identify with very strongly, and it might not have been something that they've talked about, but it's something that is going on.
Yeah. And for you, Christopher?
Well, I don't know. I think, you know, I think that there's a lot of themes that are very resonant to, you know, maybe things that are happening today, and power dynamics and all that stuff. But I do think that it's a movie, and it's meant to be kind of just consumed and let it kind of wash over, and you know, a form of entertainment. And I think that no, just to be enjoyed, I think is really the takeaway.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Andrea. Thank you so much for your time, Christopher. It's a pleasure, and good performances, and have a great day.
Thank you, Shanna.
Bye. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.